Here we are with Todd la Torre, the famous singer from Crimson Glory. Crimson Glory, a very famous band which recently toured for the 25th years anniversary. So Todd, do you want to tell us something for yourself, just for the beginning, just to hit the things up?
Well, what would you like to know?
First of all, due to your exceptional vocal skills, why did you play the drums all of these years?
Well, I always enjoyed drumming, and I still play drums now. I love to play drums, and to be honest, I never, for a long time, I never thought that I was good enough of a singer to sing for a band. So I always sang backing vocals while I played drums, and I sang things like my own music. I would write lyrics, and a lot of the times I would show them to my singer who was with us at the time in bands that I played in, and I would show them, how to sing it the way that I wrote it. But I always thought that I was a better drummer than I was a singer, so I never pursued singing seriously. I just always did it for myself.
Yeah. Always fate plays us different games.
That's why I always played drums. I just love playing drums, and singing, it was a whole different thing. To be on stage and performing for people as a singer was not something that I felt I would be great at or too comfortable doing. So that's why I never really tried it.
Okay. So, recently you finished your European tour of celebrating the 25 years of Crimson Glory. Can you give us an overview how people reacted to you, to the new singer of Crimson Glory?
Oh, everyone was awesome. I mean, we played throughout Europe. We played Germany. We played Holland. We played Norway. We played in the United Kingdom. And then, obviously, we played in Greece. We also did Switzerland. And everyone, overwhelmingly, was so cool. I mean, I think that they were very pleased with my performances. All of the reviews that we've gotten were very good. The band as a whole played very tight. Everybody, is getting along. So it was really a blessing for me to be accepted by the fans, because I know how much they love Midnight. And, they knew that there was never a chance of Crimson Glory returning with Midnight after he passed away. So I don't know if I'm the next best thing or a parallel equivalent in their eye. I don't know, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. I mean, certainly something that'll last with me forever, wonderful memories, and, we're just pushing forward now.
So, this brings me to the next question. Recently you have been to Greece. What do you think of Greek fans? I've been to Thessaloniki myself, and I can surely say that here in Greece adore you. I believe, every people I spoke, every person I spoke, everybody adored you, adored your voice, adored your, your stance, everything. And you are, you are a simple person, and everybody loved this.
Well, I'm very flattered and honored that they feel this way about me. I'm just me, I don't try to be somebody that I'm not. I think, when we do the meet and greets with the fans and we get to talk to them, and I'm very thankful for them, because they're the ones that make me the star. I mean, I do what I do, but at the end of the day, it's whether or not the fans like it and accept it and embrace it, which they have. And I think that they can sense that I'm just a real normal person, and I'm a very genuine person, and I truly am thankful. And I think that because I don't have an ego, that makes me think that I'm better than they are, they like that and they understand that. I mean, we've all met people that we admired or liked, and then you meet them, and sometimes they turn out not to be so friendly, and it's a real downer. It's nobody likes that. So I always want people to remember me as being a very kind person and truly passionate about what they're giving me also, and I think that goes a long way. But Greek fans were insane. I mean, out of all the places we played, I would definitely say that the Greek fans are the most hardcore for Crimson Glory, without a doubt. I mean, we played with Quiet Riot, we played with Anthrax, to 15,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And when we played in Greece, we played 2 club shows. They were both sold out. The one in Athens was like 700 people. The one in Thessaloniki was like, I don't know, around between 500 and 600, but it was still very packed. And they sing so loud, every single word. You really can't. I mean, that kind of energy from less than 1,000 people was bigger than even 15,000 people. So, I mean, the Greek fans were simply amazing. I mean, I've seen a lot of bootleg YouTube videos of our shows there.
Yeah.
And I just can't even, when you're playing the show, it goes by pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on stage. And so you go back and sometimes, you'll watch video and you'll try to remember, oh yeah, I remember that, or I remember that. And the Greek fans, I mean, it's so obvious that they're so passionate about their heavy metal, and their devotion and loyalty to Crimson Glory is really unbelievable. It was awesome. Definitely my best memory.
Yeah, you're right. Me and my friends,
of the whole tour, and we met some amazing people. I mean, all of the fans are so great, but I have to say that the shows in Greece stand out to me even more, just because of the sheer volume and how passionate they are about singing all the words to every song. It's so cool.
Thank you very much, Todd. It means a lot of us. Several people traveled, miles and hours to get there to see Crimson Glory, and trust me, I was one of them, and I feel so relaxed, not tired. Everybody loved you, and it's really wonderful, because we have a band such as Crimson Glory, and we're starting to think that it is one of ours, and we're expecting to come next year again.
We're trying to put together a tour for next year, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, definitely we want to come back to Greece next year, so hopefully we will.
Yeah. I believe Greece, it's a heavy metal country. Bands mainly going to the centers, meaning Athens and Thessaloniki, right? Recently, bands like Scorpions, Deep Purple, Sodom, Grim Reaper came to other Greek cities, embracing the whole country, giving shows to people who can't travel to big cities. Do you have plans doing the same in the future, like Crimson Glory?
Well, it really depends on... It depends on the time frame that we have and what other shows we have, for the tour. I mean, if time permits, and if it works out with other promoters to play in other cities in Greece, and also the money. I mean, your economy is really bad, and so it's hard for the promoters to pay. It's hard for the promoters to ask, or to pay us what we might agree to play for, and then be able to sell the tickets. A lot of people just don't have the extra money to come. Certainly we want to make it affordable, but it also costs money for us to come all the way from the United States to Europe, and so there's a lot of expenses that are incurred putting together a tour. So
it's a long journey.
We don't want to charge an unreasonable fee to play. We would play for free if we could, just because we love to play and we love the fans. But, at the end of the day, we have a mortgage payment at home just like you do. Yeah. So it is work at the same time. But we'll see. It just depends on how many shows and getting booked and what the dates look like. If we can play other cities in Greece, then we will. But I know that Thessaloniki and Athens are the two main cities that bands play, so that's why we played there.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe you spend a lot of time in internet talking to fans. This is good. That's how I know you. I knew you. I met you.
Yeah.
This is good because fans think that they are close to you in a way. Is Todd la Torre such a simple person as he seems to be? It's a completion to the other question.
Am I a what?
Such a simple person as you seem to be.
Simple, yes. Yeah. Yes, I really am.
Simple, it's not necessarily bad. Here in Greece, we think simple men, just like Lynyrd Skynyrd. It means anything.
Yeah. Well, other singers are not. It's very hard to communicate with some other singers.
Yeah, it's very true.
They just don't. Some people think that I'm too accessible, but you know what? I go on Facebook. That's how I know you, and I've met some really great people through the social media network sites, and it's my way of being in touch with the fans, even though we're continents apart. It's important to me, and I think that it's equally or more important to them. If they love Crimson Glory or they really like me, sometimes people will send me a message, and I reply to everybody. I really take time to really meet everybody, and I make comments and laugh and joke around with everybody too. And I don't feel like I'm better than they are. I feel like I'm a fan of music just like they are. And you know what? If I was able, as a fan, to talk to my favorite band singer or whatever, I would really like that, and that would go a long way with me. And so I know it does to them. And I'm really a very simple person. I live a very simple life. I'm not caught up in all the materialistic things that a lot of people are caught up in. I really don't care about any of that stuff. So I really am a simple person, and I just love the music, and I love creativity and the arts and different ways of thinking. And so, websites like Facebook are certainly a great way to talk to people and to promote what's going on with the band or myself, or that's the easiest way to reach people. And so I utilize that tool for that very reason.
Yeah, that's a good part of you. You have the brain of a fan. That's how you created, I think, the new website of you, www.toddlatorre.com, I think. And you put friends, photos of your friends, of your fans, and this means a lot to anyone, because everybody can say, "Oh, I'm with Todd la Torre."
Yeah, well, a lot of other people do not do that, and I just, it's my way of. It's a small way for me to let them know, thank you, that I really do. I remember you. I appreciate you. Crimson Glory appreciates you. But on my website, that's why I have pictures of fans. A lot of times we'll take pictures after the show, and because of Facebook, they'll send me the picture. Well, I download the picture, and I have a file on my computer of all the pictures that people send me. And when I built that website, it was very important for me to be able to acknowledge the fans, and then they can say, hey, man, check this out. I'm on Todd la Torre's website. Look, this is when we saw them play.
This is really nice.
It's just another way for me to say thank you to them, and that they're not forgotten.
This is really nice. When joining Crimson Glory, how many times did you think about the band's glorious past, and above all, how fans, we thought about it, how fans might reacted to a new unknown singer, not just Greece, worldwide?
Say the first part of that question again, because my phone kind of cut out for a second. Just say the first part again.
Okay. When joining Crimson Glory, how many times did you think about the band's glorious past?
Okay. Well, I didn't know about Crimson Glory until 2009. My friend Matt Laporte, who played guitar for John Oliva's Pain, is the one who introduced me to the band. So I was unfamiliar with the history of the band. But once I met them and started learning about the band and researching them and talking to the guys, when I finally did become a member of the band, it was really special because Crimson Glory is really credited as being one of the pioneering bands for the progressive metal genre, even though in the band's mind, it's not really a very progressive metal band, I mean, from a technical perspective, but I think Crimson Glory has always viewed the term progressive more in line with the ways that their approaches to writing stem from, trying to do things very unique and different. And so Crimson Glory also is really a cult-followed band. There are so many people out there who've never heard of Crimson Glory, and I was one of them. But to the people that do know Crimson Glory and that are fans of the band, I mean, it's a very big deal. So I was very honored to be a member of the band, and I knew that I had big shoes to fill because Midnight was such a unique individual and was a very defining sound for the band that I wanted to make sure that I was able to capture that same emotion. Hopefully I do. And so I looking back now, on their past, makes it more special for me now because a lot of people would really love to sing for Crimson Glory, and I feel special that I got the position.
Yes. What can you tell me about the new material of the band that they are working on? Have you taken any part in the creative process of the new album?
Yes. I mean, really, the core writers everyone writes in the band, but I believe that the core writers of Crimson's material was heavily, Jeff Lords, John Drenning, and Midnight. Ben also writes, and Dana has also contributed to writing lyrics and drum parts and stuff like that. And everyone writes together, but I clearly have a role in the writing. We write music together, lyrics together, talk about different ways of singing things, and I'm an integral ingredient now in the new Crimson Glory writing. So that was another important aspect of the criteria for the new singer. John and Jeff in particular wanted to make certain that the new singer was also, a writer. There's a lot of great singers out there that can't write anything. They just know how to sing notes. They don't really write music. And because of my drumming background, and I also play, guitar, I write my own music. Yeah, and so that really helps. It makes it easier for the whole band because now you have another true songwriter that can add, I can add my ideas, and some of them will work and some of them won't work, but it's better than having somebody that doesn't write anything. And so the new material is, we're working on it. We've got, some really great stuff. There's still a lot of work to be done. But we're hoping to have the new album, completed, the writing completed, and then we hopefully, we need to find where we're going to record it and who's going to produce it. We're talking with different record labels now and stuff like that. Right now we're not signed to a record label or a management company. So that's also made it a little harder to book
Yes.
some of the larger festivals like Vakken and Grass Pop. You know, a lot of these bands have management companies and record labels that do all that for them. Right now, we're doing everything ourselves, and so it's a little harder to get booked for some of the other venues that we want to play.
Yes.
We really want to play them. So our goal is to really, sometime in 2012, have the record, you know, finished being written and recorded, and then, you know, put it out there for
It
the
would be
fans.
great.
So
It
that's
would be
that's
great.
what's going on right now.
It's okay. I won't tire you long ago. I don't tire you anymore, Todd. Just a couple of questions if you have the time.
No problem. My pleasure.
So, Iced Earth, you know Iced Earth, have a special bond with
Yep.
the Greek fans. They even created an Alive in Athens DVD and CD. After your last performances, it won't be, you know, hard to say that here in Greece, many fans here desire the same from Crimson Glory. Do you have any plans of doing that?
Well, we didn't have anything professionally recorded from our shows in Greece, but we did play the Keep It True Festival in Germany, and that was all recorded in high definition on, you know, cameras. And we have the audio tracks, and we're waiting for, we're talking with those people about the video tracks. We would like to compile all of that footage and audio and put out a live DVD from the Keep It True Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we played the Bang Your Head Festival in Germany. And that was also professionally filmed. And I'm actually talking with the person in charge of that in Germany right now about obtaining the edited footage and the audio. So we're you know, what we'd like to do is put out 2 live DVDs next year. One of them will be the Bang Your Head Festival, and the other one will be the Keep It True Festival. So right now we're dealing with those people to get the actual audio and video from them to be able to do any editing that we need to do for the footage and put out a nice quality DVD, a live DVD. But we didn't have anything. We didn't have a film crew or anything like that for the 2 shows in Greece. So nothing live from Greece right now. But as far as, you know, a live DVD, you know, we know that those 2 shows were done well. They were great shows, a wonderful crowds, and, you know, we definitely want to put that out.
That's
So
good.
that's also something we're working on now.
That's good. That's very good. So, what is the source, you know, of your inspiration? How Todd la Torre gets inspired?
Well, you know, I'm inspired by, sadly, I find that I am most inspired by tragedy. And, you know, one of my friends passed away recently, and, you know, the creative thoughts in my head start really going crazy, and I start coming up with all these really great ideas and song ideas and lyrics and melodies, and it's sad, but usually I draw most of my inspiration is fueled by something that really touches my heart, but usually it's kind of on the darker side. I don't know why that is, but usually I'm inspired by those things, as most of the writing that I do is more on the darker side. But I'm inspired by nature and things that are controversial, you know, religion, politics, you know, which has always been present in heavy metal, those types of ideas, you know, death, what happens after you die, you know, an afterlife, if there is any, or these are all, you know, things that run through my mind all the time. And I find I draw inspiration from those topics. You know, sometimes I feel very, like right now I'm in a very, very, very creative mood. Lately I've been like super creative in my mind and putting things down, but That doesn't always happen. A lot of people get writer's block, you know, and they try to sit down and create something and they just can't. It's like forced. And so there are those special times when it's just there, and it just, you got to capture it while it's there because you don't know when it's going to go away.
Yeah.
So right now, like I have a very small studio here, and so whenever I get ideas, I want to run into the other room and turn the computer on and turn the microphone on and put my ideas down or plug my guitar in and just record it really quick, just an idea. So I've got a lot of the creative juices are flowing for Todd right now.
That's good.
And I think I'll be able to come up with some really great stuff.
Luckily for us, we hope never fades this creativity away.
Yeah, right?
Yes. So, did you ever take singing lessons, or you are more self-taught and trained by having got, you know, influences from classic metal and rock singers?
I'm completely self-taught. About a year ago, maybe not even a year ago, I did take 4, I guess you could call them lessons. I went to a very respected vocal coach in this area, and I wanted someone to evaluate what I was doing. You know, am I singing right? Am I singing wrong? What am I doing that's incorrect? What am I doing that is correct? How do I improve? And basically, he told me, you know, he said, you know how many people come to me that sing like you? And I said, no. He says, very few. He goes, you are truly a naturally gifted talent. And I said, well, thank you. I said, I don't know. This was actually before the first Crimson tour. And I said, you know, I don't know if I can sing an hour and a half of Crimson Glory. What if my throat gets burned out after the 4th song?
You're amazing.
I mean, I don't want that to happen. And he said, well, I think that the technique that you have somehow taught yourself to use is correct. And he says you have a beautiful vibrato. You know, there are some things that I was weak on that I need to improve on. And so he gave me some really great exercises to try to build the muscles, and also how to sing without straining in the higher parts of the songs. You know, it's kind of like a reinforced falsetto. You want your voice to sound like one complete voice, but the truth of the matter is you have your chest voice, which is kind of like your speaking voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your mixed voice, which is kind of the top of your chest and your throat, and then you have your head voice.
Wow.
So trying to bridge, trying to bridge your chest voice. You know, when you do like in the Dragon Lady, when it goes oh, and it goes all the way up high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want that to sound like one smooth transition, and so, I mean, he taught me some exercises and some warm-ups. I have to be honest and say that I don't really practice. I sing in my car. I sing, you know, when I'm doing stuff around the house or whatever. But I really don't just sit down and do, like, all these exercises like I should.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but... it's just some people have said, how do you do that? And I don't know. I don't know how to explain how to do what I know how to do. I just do it. It just comes out.
You're amazing, man. You're amazing. You're just amazing.
Thank you very much. I mean, there's always there's room for improvement. I know where I need to improve. You know, some of my cleaner high screams, I mean, I get kind of gritty and dirty. You know, so I do try to practice singing a little cleaner and higher, but certainly when you're traveling and you're dealing with, you know, fatigue and you're tired and you're not sleeping good, and then you're dealing with a different type of climate and you're shaking people's hands and then you're rubbing your eyes, you know, it's easy to get sick. Yes. And really talking, I mean, when I'm talking is the worst thing that a singer can do, especially when he's on tour. It really wears you out.
Yes,
And I can talk. I mean, everybody knows that Todd can really talk. And so, yeah. I mean, I make an interview for you simple, because you just tell me a question and I'll talk for 5 minutes. But
very good.
You know, but when we're done playing a tour or a set, you know, at the end of the night, my throat never feels worn out or tired. I mean, I always feel like if I had to sing more, I could. So,
it's amazing.
you know, that's just, I'm really self-taught. I just copied the people that I love so much. You know, how does Bruce Dickinson do this? What makes his voice sound like this? Well, how does Rob Halford scream like this? You know, how does Jeff Tate do that? And so those are the people that I emulated. And I'm a very good, I don't want to say I'm a copycat, but I am very, very good at knowing how to make my throat and mouth sound the way that theirs does.
Two of my favorite singers are Gioeli, you know Gioeli, and you. Now, you're amazing.
Who is the other one?
Gioeli, you know, from Hardline, a past band.
I don't know who that is.
He played some songs with Axel Rudipel, you know, Ingi Malmsteen. He has a voice.
Send me, you know what? Send me
you
a link on Facebook and I'll check it out today.
I will send you. He sounds very much like you. I love this guy and I love you now.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I'll send you on Facebook a link.